let's talk about 1 year since sports apocalypse. I
Mm-hmm.
must say also, uh, tomorrow will be mark 1 year since the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus a pandemic.
Right.
And
And
today is the first day. I don't know about Houston, but I'm in Tyler. Today is the first day the coronavirus case was found in Tyler, Texas. So
I
a
believe
lot of anniversaries here.
we had some before that. Um,
Maybe like a
because
week before, two
it was
weeks,
like a
something like
week or
that.
so. Because there was, I think the rodeo cookout was the barbecue cookout at the rodeo. Sorry, was February 28th, and somebody at the cookout had it, but like they didn't know because they wouldn't say um like where they got it from, like who they
Right.
where they're around, but who they got it from. But they were confirmed to have been at the cookout. So there was that, and then well, I'll let you tell your your recapping of like maybe not the 10th, but the 11th when things really started shutting down. I'll let you tell yours, and then I'll tell my story.
I mean, I really don't really have a recap to be honest. Yeah, I knew about the coronavirus before many people because I
Mm-hmm.
obviously work in the news
Right,
and we
right.
were covering the pandemic. Well, not the pandemic because it wasn't a pandemic yet, but we
Mm-hmm.
were covering the China, Wuhan, China virus, and
Right.
we knew it was the novel coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
And we were covering it for a couple months. Maybe started in January, or maybe it started in February. It was somewhere towards the end of January, early February. Anyways, we were covering it, but nothing in my mind was like it's coming here. It's
Mm-hmm.
about to shut the whole world down. Nothing in my mind. Um, and yeah, I mean, I I was living a normal life, and
Mm-hmm.
then I started because I'm a producer. I started doing more stories, more and more stories on the coronavirus, and like, oh, coronavirus found here,
Mm-hmm.
oh, coronavirus found here. So my plans, like the March, because I live in East Texas, there's no big events here.
Mm-hmm.
The March when everything got shut down, I was supposed to go to a concert in May. They got postponed, and I was supposed to go to Miami in like July.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it wasn't like a complete halt to my
Right.
life. I have still been going to work every day. Every now and then I have to quarantine at home if somebody at work was exposed to coronavirus, but I've still been going to work every day. But I also, saw it wasn't like for some people it was a total shock factor. For me, I saw it coming because I
Mm-hmm.
work in the news, and once cases started popping up, then we started talking to different CDC, experts, different scientists, etc. So I saw it coming. It wasn't a complete shock, but yeah, I mean, 1 year, bruh. Did I think it was
Yeah.
gonna be like this? Absolutely not.
Mm-mm. So I think it really starts for me the on the 11th, right?
Mm.
Because the 10th, I think by now we had the Ivy League canceled their conference tournament by now. We're starting to hear murmurs of like, okay, maybe no fans and stuff, yada yada yada. But it really started hitting for me on the 11th because around 12 o'clock, the mayor of Houston, Sylvester Turner, held a press conference. And we had heard what it was going to be about, like maybe an hour before, but that they were canceling the rodeo for the rest of the
Hmm.
year, which
Oh
really
yeah, I
made
remember
me mad.
that.
Which really
I
made me mad
remember that.
because I, so I went to the Chance the Rapper concert on the 6th. So that was Friday. So it'll be 7, 8,
Y'all
9.
would think Merv had money by all these events he wants to, but keep going.
Shut up. So the ninth, went to the rodeo and bought a season pass that cost like $35 because I went that day. I was gonna go the next Monday, and I was gonna go the last day of the rodeo because the last day of the rodeo was the day before my birthday last year. So that's when I was gonna go. And so I was low key mad about that. So I'm like, and I've planned out my birthday, by this point. So I'm like, I'm gonna just go to the rodeo with my friends or whatever, have a good time, eat a bunch of turkey legs, drink a bunch of stuff, ride some rides, go home, enjoy my birthday the next day. Well, on the 11th, that's when we see everything really start shutting down. So the rodeo shuts down, and then I'm at work that night, and I get a text from the ex, and she's like, "Yo, the NBA just shut down," and I said, "Excuse me." And I'm like, what? And then sure enough, like I'm in the bar area, so I see the TV, and it's like the Mavericks game is still being played, which I just think it's fun that the Mavericks were the last game on national TV winning before everything really shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened, and I'm like, wow, like they're really shutting down. Like this is the last one. Like there was supposed to be a game after that one that they were just like, yeah, you know what, like let's just kill it because of Rudy Gobert, because of his positive test.
Can I
Uh,
just pause right here
mhm.
and remind everybody what Rudy Gobert did before?
Oh, please
Rudy
do.
Gobert was at a press conference with a couple of mics in front of him, and you know, someone maybe asked about the coronavirus. I don't remember exactly what happened,
Hmm.
but the man started joking and started coughing
Hmm.
on the mics. Literally, what was the next day? Like
The
two
next day,
days later,
yeah, it was like 2 days later.
like
No,
then
not
it
only
came
did he
out.
cough, not only did he cough, he did the playful like get up like that, and then came back and like touched all of them. Like, you
Yes,
sorry.
and
Hmm.
was laughing about it.
Yeah,
And then comes out he has the coronavirus.
yeah.
Not only did he have the coronavirus,
Donovan Mitchell
Donovan
had it.
Mitchell
Hmm.
also had the coronavirus, and he was
Yeah,
pissed.
yeah. Rudy Gobert became Agent Zero. Now
Oh yes,
I did hear something, and it kind of did bring up a fair point. It was like, what if it was Donovan Mitchell first, and he gave it to Rudy Gobert? What if
it don't
that's what
matter.
happened? It don't
It
matter
don't
now
matter
because Donovan
because
Mitchell doesn't
one
look
was
like an idiot.
because one of them was playing and the other one wasn't.
Right, right. What if that was so that was the 11th, right? So everything shut down, and then the 12th, that's when everything really shut down. That's when hockey shut down. Baseball sent their people home from spring training. All the conference tournaments started getting canceled. Like was, I believe they were in Fort Worth or Dallas. I don't remember exactly where the conference tournament was supposed to be for the American, but they were there, and I remember seeing that. Yeah, they're headed on the way back to Houston right now. Like they're not going to play. It got canceled, and then I believe that's the same day NCAA canceled March Madness, and that's when it really was like, wait a minute, like, okay, we can postpone some stuff for a little bit, but we're talking about March Madness. Like let's chill out here. Like this is really getting serious. And I think that's when everybody really started taking this thing serious. It's like, okay,
Whoa! You said this
okay,
is really getting serious. You know, the
no,
day the NBA canceled those games, and when they stopped the game in the middle
yes,
of the game,
yeah.
that right there caught everybody's attention.
Well,
If you
no,
did not take the coronavirus seriously at that time, you was just like, "Whoa, this might
no,
be
but I'm
something."
saying it was like, okay, because I think at first, and I know I had the mindset. I don't know if anybody else did, but we were hearing like, okay, it takes up to 2 weeks. Like if you get exposed today, it's gonna take up to 2 weeks before you just start showing symptoms, and you got to quarantine or whatever. So my thought was like, all right, man, look, okay, it takes 2 weeks. Let's shut everything down for like 2 or 3 weeks. Nobody go anywhere. If you got it, you got it. Stay quarantined. If you don't have it, you test negative. Go out and enjoy yourself. Right? We thought at the most we were going to be in this thing for a month. We've been in this thing for a year. Granted, there's some personal irresponsibility that goes into it, governmental irresponsibility. But I think going back to this time last year, I think once that started happening, because people were like kind of taking it seriously. I remember my mom yelled at me about something back then, and I'm like we'll be okay, whatever.
Sit your tail down.
Yeah, essentially, essentially. But it's like I think once sports really started falling off, that's when it was like, oh my god. And then to make it even worse, more personally for me, we were supposed to have praise team rehearsal that night. That got canceled, and then my pastor sent out a message saying, "Yeah, we're not having church this Sunday because I think somebody in our one of our church members got it, and like we haven't. I've been back one time, and that was the same for like a Wednesday night service. But like, unless you're like there preaching, singing, playing an instrument or something necessary, we haven't been in church for a year. Coming up,
What
like
is church? It was a joke.
I was gonna say,
Obviously.
don't do this, don't do that.
It's just because churches ain't a lot of people haven't been in a church for over a year, so
Well, no, you're 100% correct. But I would, even if I was one of those people who did go to church every Sunday and I went every now and then, I would at least like to have the option. Now,
right.
don't get
It
me
still
wrong,
feels weird. I'm
it's
one of those
still,
people that you just mentioned.
of course, uh,
I go every now and then, so it
right.
definitely feels weird.
Hey, look, you go when you can go. Look,
Amen.
I hate when people say this, but he knows your heart. So yeah,
Yes, he does. He
but
knows
yeah,
my heart.
so like I think that
Amen.
really kind of set in stone, and I'm just looking forward to the day when we can get back to everything. Um, I am going to get stuck tomorrow for the first dose, and I'm going to get stuck again in 3 weeks for
You
the
get your
second
first
dose.
dose tomorrow?
Yeah.
Turn up. See, here
Yeah.
in East Texas, they're still doing the stingy 1A and 1B classifications.
Well, yeah, but yeah.
No, in big cities, no, you're saying yeah, but in big cities and even
No,
in Dallas and stuff like the Potter's House are giving out vaccines
mhm.
to anybody who wants one.
Yeah. Well,
So,
yeah, yeah. But
you
I
know,
did see that they're going to start opening up to 1C sometime soon,
I honestly
which
think they're just going to start, you're going to open it up to
they're
everybody.
going to have to open
Honestly,
up because the only reason they
let's go.
did it the way they did was because they thought they were going to have less supply.
But
But
Johnson came, and AstraZeneca is also about to apply for federal authorization.
mhm,
So we're gonna have enough.
yeah,
You
so
know, I'm just
hopefully,
not trying to. I ain't trying to bash the Johnson and Johnson, but I'm just not trying to get that one. I want the maximum efficacy,
mhm,
which is either Moderna or Pfizer.
yeah,
I need my 2 shots. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. So one of these days,
yeah.
guys, you know, it's really funny. Just to wrap this up, I made a comment a few weeks ago about how beautiful and luscious my beard is and how I'd like to, you know, let it flow in public.
You look like a caveman.
Thank you. Um, as much as I would love to do that, I ain't doing it right now. Today is the day for all of the
The mask mandate has been lifted
anti-maskers to
in Texas.
right in Texas to, you know, finally peel their mask away and let themselves breathe normally, which they could have done anyway if they just stayed at the house or on their patio or just walking down the street, right? Um, I swear to God, if I first of all, don't here's just what I don't want. I don't want anybody talking to me saying that, oh, you don't have to wear a mask around me. I'm good. If you tell me I don't have to wear a mask around you, you just double the reasons why I'm wearing a mask around you because I
Wait,
don't trust you.
the CDC did issue new guidelines for vaccinated people, though. If
No, yeah, I
you
saw that.
are around another vaccinated person, y'all don't have to wear masks with
Yeah,
each other.
but see, I don't know you. I don't know that you're vaccinated. You could have made
True
that
that.
card
Could be
up.
lying.
I don't know you, especially
True
the
that.
people that go to eat where I work. I'm good. I'll wait a little bit.
LOL.
Mm.